I'm the Board Game Captain.
And I'm Alex.
And today we are reviewing and showing you how to play Battlestar Galactica Starship Battles. So this one was published by Ares Games and is a game designed by Andrea Angiolino as well as Andrea Manini, which is the same design team behind such other amazing miniature games as Wings of War, both World War I and World War II, as well as Sails of Glory. Wings of War was then later renamed Wings of Glory, and now they also have the Tripods and Triplanes just came out. This is their take on the dogfighting from the Battlestar Galactica TV show, and we're already big fans of theirs as designers.
Yeah.
So the game is a two-player game for 30 minutes, ages 30 plus minutes.
30 plus.
Yes, ages 13 and up.
Sometimes not even 30.
One time. Anyway, so usually in the base game, it comes with the ability to do dogfights 2-on-2. You get two ships of either side. And I would say when it says 30 plus, that's a good idea because you can get crit hits and take a ship out of combat real quick. Or sometimes it can be taken a while. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
We've had both experiences for sure.
I mean, usually, I'd say more often than not, though, it takes longer rather than quick.
Yes.
So and that's part of the joy of it is you do a lot of chasing each other and going back and forth.
Right.
Ages 13 up is probably a pretty good estimate, I would say, because there's a lot of complexity to these rules.
Yeah, I agree.
And two players, not much to talk about. It's strictly a two-player game. So let's have a look at what comes in the box. Now, when you open this sucker up, first thing you'll notice is the minis, because it comes with 4 ships, 2 Viper Mark IIs. Let me show you one of those because these are amazing. These are some of the best pre-painted minis I've ever seen. And 2 Cylon Raiders.
Very cool.
What are your thoughts on these guys?
Come to expect high quality from Ares with their miniatures. The ships and Sails of Glory are awesome. But these are like a notch above, I think.
Yeah.
The ships and Sails of Glory, probably because of the design, because they are sailing ships, are a little bit flimsy. These are really rock solid and
beautiful.
They're really very pretty. These are easily on par quality with Star Wars Armada.
I'd say, we'll get to that more in the review, but these are the bases, and they twist because you can fire your thrusters in one direction and then turn the ship to another direction to fire that way as you slide by enemy ships in this game, which is awesome.
Very awesome. A whole new level of complexity, which is really cool.
The dashboards in this are these plastic things with lots of click-tastic pieces for the speed and the acceleration and the way you're facing. These are so cool, too. I don't know if you can tell, but I really like the components in this game. There's a lot of cardboard punch-out tokens, which if you've seen one, you've seen them all. There's quite a few different ones. You'll see a lot of them out on the table. I don't want to waste your time too much with cardboard punch-out tokens with numbers and arrows on them, because that's basically what they are. Then we've got a bunch of cards. So you've got some big cards here. I'll show some of those. For instance, the starter set comes with the ability to have Apollo. It also has just the basic Vipers, and it has some upgraded AI Cylons, which are to counterbalance using Apollo on the other side, as well as basic Vipers. And then over there, why don't you show some of the ability cards we've got?
These are ability cards. This is a defensive ability card. You've got offensive ability cards for attacking. You've got additional ones that, depending on which pilot you're using, you can pick and choose up to, actually, as many as you like. You can agree on 2. We played with 3, or you can do 6, I think, is probably.
Yeah, I think 5 might be the max for. Yeah, but then you've got terrain if you want to use asteroid fields and things like that. You've got maneuver cards, which will look very similar to you if you've played any of the other games they have. They have maneuver cards with different moves on them, and that's basically what you've got in here. You've also got a pair of dice, some more cardboard punch-out shits, but that's really it when it comes down to it. That's all the stuff that's in the basic box. So we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to jump right into showing you how to play this game, and then we're going to come right back, and we're going to tell you how this game feels, how it plays, what we like, what we don't like, and we're going to review it and rate it. Okay, so here you can see us set up to play a game of Battlestar Galactica Starship Battles. I'll be playing the human ships on this side of the table here. I have two Viper Mark IIs. This one here is being piloted by Apollo, the legendary pilot Apollo from the TV show. So on the second ship is just a standard ship with a standard pilot. Apollo has been given 3 upgrade cards. He has sharp reflexes, lethal, and elusive. I will explain those if they come into play. And then, Alex, what have you got over there?
I am playing the Cylons. I have 2 Cylon Raiders. One is piloted by the Cylons special pilot, which is just AI level 5. It's got similar abilities for upgrades. I'm running Evasion, Marksman, and Sharpshooter. The other one is similar to the Kaptain.
Box standard.
It's just a standard Cylon Raider pilot with no upgrades or special abilities.
Okay, so we have chosen our ships and our crew. We agreed on 3 upgrades for one pilot, and the other pilot had to be standard, so we each got one better pilot. We've set up, we've got our maneuver cards and all of our tokens out, and we chose to be doing the most basic of scenarios for this explanation, which is the Hand of God scenario, without any terrain. So we're just going to be flying around, trying to shoot each other, and whoever is like last man standing is going to win this game.
Last AI standing.
Or last AI standing, sure. So we're going to run you through a few turns to show you how this goes. So, we're going to start off with the very first thing you do on every turn, which is the planning phase. Planning is very important. During the planning phase, we're each going to choose a maneuver card or 2 for our 2 ships, as well as choosing to possibly turn if we move straight. So now, we'll be right back after planning our maneuvers for the first turn. So we're back from the planning phase. I have revealed my first 2 planned cards for each of my ships, which are straight overboosts. They have 0 G-forces, but 3 kinetic energy. I then set my kinetic energy to what the combined amount is for that, and the card I have not yet revealed. And in the case of Apollo's ship, his kinetic energy, he's going to be setting himself to top speed, and a total of 6 kinetic energy. He's going to be skyrocketing. Whereas my other ship is going to be also setting himself to top speed and also to 6 kinetic energy, but they will not, since these overboosts are only 0 Gs, they will not be going over their 4 G limit, because the largest number of Gs, I believe, is 3 possible in the deck. So the second card will not push them over. So, Alex, what did your Cylon Raiders do for their first cards?
They both also had a straightaway overboost.
Okay, so but now what speed are they setting themselves to, and also what will be
kinetic
their
energy,
kinetic energy?
They are currently at 3. This is 3 and 3. After their movements, they will both be at 5.
Okay, so you're doing 2-point
movements
after the first one. So go ahead and move for your. All right, so go ahead and move yours forward. Okay, so we leave the cards in place exactly where they are. And now we check for shooting, which we are definitely not in range of. So now we can do our second cards, which the way you do it is you pick up your ship from where it is. You lay the second card down on your current planned speed to where it's going, now revealing why it was you had to change your kinetic energy so much. And for me, it's because I'm doing this nice shimmy maneuver, and you place your ship back down where that card should place you. And I'm going to do that for both my ships. And Alex, why don't you just go ahead and we'll do this simultaneously. Well now, so you just did oh, so it looks like your ships are converging in on attacking Apollo there. Interesting. And after that second move, we are still out of firing range. We are completely beyond the measure of our ships. So now that we have completed doing our maneuver and our possible shooting steps, we are going to go on to the turn 2 planning phase. We will remove our cards and go back to start our turn 2 planning phase. So we'll be right back after planning our speed and maneuvers for turn 2. All right, so we're back from our second planning phase. We're going to reveal our dashboards. I reveal that my my right ship here, the B ship, which is just the regular Viper Mark II, is actually turning going to be spinning pretty sharply to the left there. Not quite 90 degrees, but one notch before 90. I have also revealed that Apollo is slowing down, and I'm going to reveal my first card for each ship and adjust their kinetic energy. Of course, they can only adjust within 3. I am revealing that both ships are doing a straight overboost, and in the case of Apollo, his kinetic energy will be adjusted down to a 4, 2 down, and in the case of my generic fighter, his kinetic energy will be staying at a 6. So I'm going to put these out and move them. And Alex, why don't you explain what your ships are doing while I'm doing this?
Okay, I've got my AI 5 making a speed 3, kinetic energy of 3, so that's going to drop me down to 3. And a turn. That's going to occur at the end of this.
Yes, I'm going to do my turn here before putting my ship back as well.
And my generic silent.
Okay. All right. So, and Alex, for yours, it looks like you've planned some twists as well as well as some straight overboosts as well. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Now, luckily in this game, ships do not run into each other.
Correct.
So you have no worries there.
No.
So, wow, that's all. You're pulling a lot of acceleration though. Go ahead and bring him to the ends of that, and let's see if we got any shots. Do your twists and drop them off at the end.
That's going to be probably a bit too much, but let's see. Yeah, it's going to be too much.
But he's going to be moving straight again.
Yes.
Because we know you can only do straights when twisting. So there's another straight. They might be coming into range after the second move. Let's see what happens.
No,
probably not though.
This is going to be interesting. Hoping the second movement is what's going to
bring him in. Well, you're lining up for a shot here,
right?
Possibly, but we're not in range there yet. I am in range. Let me see. Now I have to decide if I want to take the shot or if I want to hold it. So let's take a look first at the line of sight of my 2 fighters. This one here, I don't know. Yeah, he's gotcha. He's gotcha. That's the question. It's long range for sure, at least.
Yeah, definitely long.
Yeah, that is long. So he would get a -1 if he wants to take that shot. I think I'm going to hold with him. Now, I'm a bit closer here, though. And here's the question. Who can I see? Oh, I can see both. I might take the shot because I get a medium range on him, and I don't know what's going to happen after the second one. I may not be able to see him anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my fire here, but I'm going to declare a shot with Apollo on your weaker ship. How about you? Are you declaring any shots?
On my weaker ship?
On your weaker ship. Yeah. I just checked. I got line of sight.
That's not my weaker ship. That's my AI 5. That's my.
Oh, well, the weaker ship's still then.
Okay.
Now, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take the shot. I called it. I'm gonna do it just in case. I don't think that I'll probably still would have been able to hit you anyway. Are you declaring any shots yet?
No.
Okay, so Apollo has a current kinetic energy of 4, which does not give him any negatives to his shot, but my target is got a current kinetic energy of what?
Both of our...
That's the B.
Oh my, your target is at... I was at a 6, now I'm a 3.
3.
You have a 3.
So he's at a 3, which means I have no negatives, and I get +2 to hit. I'm also at medium range, which is no negatives or positives. So I'm just +2 to my roll to hit my target. And my attack is a 6, which means all I need on my 2 dice is a 6 or better. Very easy. Should be very likely to hit. Speaking of which, I got a 7. So that is 3 plus 2 plus my plus 2 is a 7. So 7 to hit, that is a hit. So now Alex is shaking up the cup. We've got a cup full of tokens. Lean it towards there so they can see there's a bunch of tokens in there. Now Alex is going to draw a random token. He's not going to tell me what's on it unless I do critical damage or got a plus. A plus, hold on one second. Let me, you know what? I'm going to activate my ability. Before you draw that, I'm going to activate Lethal, which says if you draw, now usually if you draw 1 plus, you'll have to draw a second token, but with Lethal activated, you keep drawing as long as you keep drawing pluses. So I'm going to gamble that you're going to get some pluses. Let's see it happen.
I do have a plus.
Okay, so he got a plus. That means another damage token is being drawn. Might do some critical damage here. Please be another plus. Another plus. Is it another plus, Alex?
It is another plus.
Oh! That was a worthwhile use of that ability.
I have critical damage occurring as well.
Oh, and what is the critical damage, by the way?
So I have a...
Let me see. Which one is it?
The pilot, I believe, right?
Is the one with the helmet?
Looks like a helmet.
Yeah, that's the pilot damage. So why don't you go ahead and draw your next one while I double check the effects of pilot damage.
We're in trouble here. Hold on.
Oh, did you get a 3rd plus?
Right. I have 3 pilot damages as well. So I think the ship is dead.
Well, hold on.
Regardless of... Okay, I'm done drawing now.
Okay. A third. If you took 3 pilot damage,
yeah.
I literally, I instant killed that ship. That was a 1-hit kill. I've never seen that happen yet. No, that's crazy.
I've never drawn 3 criticals, let alone 3 of the same.
That's crazy.
So just so I'm right.
Yeah. No, so that's
5, 9, both pluses. 3, so that's 12. All pluses with 13.
The chance is there for these sort of things, but it's funny how it only seems to happen when the camera's on. That was insane. Yeah, so that's an instant kill. That fighter is blown clear off the map. Usually it takes multiple turns of shooting to take a fighter down, but that was a super lucky hit.
I don't think anyone died before the 4th round the last time we played.
No, they didn't. So FYI, so you guys watching this example, I want you to know this is super rare. This was a super crit hit. So that fighter's going to come off.
I think there's 6
total in there.
Total of pilot damage.
I am, however, reminded of when we did our Sales of Glory battle rep, and you hit me, and I took like ludicrous damage. I was like on fire 3 times.
So that ship's done.
That ship is done.
Never fired a shot.
Never fired a shot. He is out.
Made one maneuver.
So we'll pull these off. But yeah, that was wow. I've never seen a 1-hit kill yet. Okay, so no one else fired that round. So now we're going to maneuver our second moves. So I'm doing a 1 move with Apollo. So he 1G move. So he's moving rather slowly for his second move there.
I was gonna do something really cool.
Really cool
too.
Oh.
It looked like it was actually gonna work.
And let's see if I can get.
Wait.
Oh yeah. This has to be back here. Yeah, I was moving too far. Let's see if I can get my other fighter in range to take a shot.
Oh yeah, he's
at your raider. Let's see. Where's your raider going? Because I did a full burst. All right. So what's your second maneuver going to be?
It's going to be a straight.
And what was the speed you set him at?
He was at 2.
So okay, so he's going to be the middle one.
Moving up the middle one. It almost worked.
I got crazy lucky. That was insane. Yeah. I can't even believe that happened. So you did not get your shot because I slowed down so much over here. But I got a shot. Let's see my range.
That's in medium.
Yeah, I'm wearing medium. So I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to take a shot with my other fighter. And this is actually turning out to be probably the luckiest first turn so far of this game I have had. I wish I could say I planned it this way, but I really got lucky. I really did get really lucky. So I'm going to take my shot. And I rolled a 6, which is exactly what I needed because it is medium range. Oh, no, wait a minute. What is your current? Oh, no. I get a -1 to my roll for my speed. I'm going crazy fast. I get a -1. Yeah, so I get a -1. That's not enough.
Okay.
I needed a 6. That is a miss.
Yes.
Plus, I think I might have gotten a -1 from you too. What's your speed?
I'm only on 3, so
no.
You wouldn't have gotten a negative.
Actually, I would have needed a 7. So that is a miss. He whiffs. And that is it for our first round of shooting, where we actually made it to range in combat. But there you can see it. We're gonna do a little bit more of this game so you can see what happens when you come out of these twists. Mm-hmm. So we'll be right back after we do our planning for the third turn. All right, so now we're back from another planning phase, and we're revealing what we have planned. I have some turns planned, and I am going to be adjusting after revealing my card here. Leodama, hence Apollo. I'm using the wrong name. I usually like to just call him by his hotshot name. He is going to be adjusting to 3 Gs, while I have to stay at exactly 6 and do the exact same movements as long as I continue to drift, which I am continuing to drift with my 1 drifting plane. So he is going to reveal his first, which is obviously got to be the same card he started with before, because I have to move at the exact same Gs, and there's only one way to do that. And you're revealing that you're coming out of your drift.
Which means I have to... First, I have to drift a slight bit.
Yes, the 2 to 4. So we put that on the front of your ship here, and then what happens is you're going to pick it up. You're going to realign yourself to be facing the correct direction, and put yourself at the end of that drift. There we go. And just and then now mine is a 3. I unfortunately seem to have overshot you. So it looks like we're going to need to do... Now, when you are overlapping like this, you use these tokens here. I did a 3, and then I also adjusted my direction 2 to the right. I think this is going to be a grave miscalculation on my part. Would you lean yours up a little bit so I can get myself beneath there? 2 to the right is where my shot is facing, and there we go. So I'm going to put I'm going to put it there to show where I am. We do not hit each other, but we cannot shoot at each other, even though we would normally look like we're in the front arcs, because we're maneuvering to avoid each other. I do now do this maneuver here, and at the end of it, I am going to be adjusting my direction 2 more notches to the left as I keep drifting, and I think
you got a shot.
I think I kept you in line of sight for a shot there. I'm having trouble getting myself aligned correctly. There we go. Okay. All right, so it looks like I've got a shot at you. Let me check the range, because I think I'm going to call this medium, which means now I am still moving like a bat out of hell, which that brings my 6 to a 7. How fast are you moving? So I do have a shot at you here. And my current kinetic energy is at a 6, which that's going to give me a -1 to my shot, which means I need a 7 to hit you.
Right.
What is your kinetic energy at?
It's going to be a...
Don't reveal it.
It's going to be at a 3 when I'm done. So that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, so you're at a 3, so there's no negatives from you, so I need a 7 to hit you. I'm at medium range on the template, which is no adjustment, positive or negative to the roll. Oh, I got it this time with an 8. Okay,
so I'm going to use my evasion special ability, which means I get to subtract 1 from each die rolled by my opponent.
Oh, you do that after I roll?
Yes.
Oh, that's bad. That's really bad for me. Wow. So that 2 goes to a 1, the 6 goes to a 5, and now is now a miss. Wow, good ability. All right, so I missed you. So now we're going to pull up our second cards, and of course this gentleman here has already fired, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. So my second card is going to keep me sliding forward as I was.
Forever and ever.
Well, not forever and ever. I'm pretty sure I'm coming out of it next round. So yes, I am facing this way. I kept sliding forward. Of course, I can't get another shot because you only get 1 shot per ship per round. My other fighter did not call a second card, but you did. What is your second card?
I'm going to go a big old turn to the left.
What speed are you moving at?
I'm moving at 3. My
highest
rate of speed.
Well, at least you're going to get out of my way.
If you'll notice, I have maxed out my Gs.
Yes, you're at 4 Gs. You are pulling 4 Gs.
Unlike the humans, the Cylons to recenter,
It's 2G.
is a 2G maneuver.
Yeah, they don't turn as much on a dime. That's the one thing the human ships have better. You have a little bit better hull and a little better acceleration, but I have better turning radius.
It's gonna be a little interesting here. Let's see. Where am I? Am I on it? That looks pretty good. Huh?
Yeah, I think you are.
Go ahead.
So I think you wind up there, and go ahead and pull that card off, because then I get to put myself back, and we pass each other by. There we go. All right, so the dogfight continues. Now that is how you play a game of Battlestar Galactica Starship Battles. There's a lot of maneuvering, a lot of firing your thrusters in one direction and then twisting to face a different direction, sliding on by your opponent while you get to fire at them, and then redirecting yourself and maneuvering around to get out of their firing arc and getting another shot at them. Now that first shot that totally wiped out a Cylon Raider was ludicrously lucky. But I'll take it. Yeah. It can happen, obviously. It's the first time this has ever happened while we've been playing, and of course it happens while the cameras are on. But there you have it. That is how you play a game of Battlestar Galactica Starship Battles. So now we're going to head back to the table. We're going to talk about how this game plays and how it feels, what we like, what we don't like, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, welcome back. So that was how you play a game of Battlestar Galactica Starship Battles. So we want to address something real quick. We checked after that mock game, and that crazy critical hit where I managed to cause Alex to draw 3 pilot damage chits, which happened in a row. They all had pluses on them. He kept drawing. And it killed the pilot of his fighter. Those were all 3 of the only 3 pilot damage chits in the cup. So the odds against that happening, I mean, it's just astronomical that would happen the one time we were recording.
Yeah, there's something like 20-something damage chits.
And
when they get 3 in the row, the only 3.
Yeah, that was just super lucky for me, super unlucky for Alex.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So that's not normal, but it is possible. So it's kind of cool that it happened and that we showed a ship getting destroyed, not by damage, because usually you got to do enough damage to equal up their damage, which for Cylon Raiders is 15 damage.
Right.
And those damage chits were only doing usually between like 0 and 5 is the normal. 0 and 6 damage.
6 is about as much as you can get, I think.
Unless you're playing with asteroids, then
collisions,
you can get more for running into asteroids.
Yeah. So I think the damage added up to 14.
Which would have killed one of my ships.
It would have been 1 less than what to kill mine, but
it was
3 pilot damage was all.
Also, all those pulls were only because of that special ability, which the last time I played with that special ability, it caused 0 extra damage the whole game. Yeah. So it's funny that special ability is very much a gamble. It's very swingy, but also that was just ludicrously lucky.
And it's literally all or nothing. Like if you pull a 0 on that first one, that special ability is useless.
Yeah.
You
pull a 5 with a plus, and you're doing a lot of damage.
You're in deep trouble.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of damage. Right. So that was really interesting. All right, so first off, the game plays a lot like their earlier miniature games, things like Wings of Glory and Sails of Glory.
Right.
You're using maneuvers to do dogfighting, so closer to Wings of Glory. The big thing that stands out and makes this game different is the ability, because you're flying in space, to very realistically, like how fighters in space could do if they were real, and how they used to do during the show, so it's very thematic, is you can fire your thrusters hard in one direction, turn with your maneuvering thrusters, and glide by, because there's nothing to slow you down in space, glide by your enemy and shoot them on the way by, like a drive-by shooting.
Right.
And that's the thing that really sets this game apart. We showed a little of that in our example of how to play.
Yeah, it's the reason we showed it is because it's the definitive. It's the thing that sets this apart, like you said.
100%.
It's a really interesting maneuver, and it adds a whole different complexity to the game.
It's interesting because that's way more advanced than you might say a lot of the mechanics in Sails of Glory are. But then the planning is way easier because Sails of Glory usually have to plan 2 turns out. This, you just plan for the immediate turn. Planning takes a lot less time in this and is a lot quicker, which I think is a big plus, because that's one of the few things I don't like in Sails of Glory is having to plan 2 turns out. Kind of drives me up a wall because it's so hard. I mean, it's a challenge, but you get what I mean. I actually like it a little better with the easier planning with these guys.
And it makes it move. I mean, it moves much faster.
Yes.
So even in those games where you don't get 1 shot on the first shot, There's a lot of dogfighting, but
Yeah.
there's the downtime in between action is much lower than in game Sales of Glory.
Yeah.
Which is really actually a very cool part of this game.
Because you can go towards the person and then just turn on a dime and face them and
Right.
shoot at them, which is awesome.
Yeah. Up until that rare draw today, it seemed like you had a lot more opportunity to fire in this game. There's a lot more maneuvering and firing because there's just not that much damage inflicted usually by these two fighters on each other.
Yes.
You got more time to play around with.
Yes. So, all right. Also, something I want to draw attention to. So, the miniatures in this game. For a while, we've been having this debate about whether Sales of Glory or Star Wars Armada has the best pre-painted minis on the market of any game.
Right.
I think this blows both of them away. I think these are phenomenal.
These are Sales of Glory are beautiful, but they're a little bit fragile. I think just because of the nature of them, like I said earlier. These are much more durable, and
the paint jobs are more intricate.
And they're more intricate, and everything about them is more intricate.
Yes.
The detail on the molding is more intricate, and like I said, it reminds me more of Armada, not just because it's space based, but because of how intricate the miniatures are.
And they look just like the TV show, which if you're a fan of the TV show like I am, that is awesome. They look exactly like they looked in the newer TV show. They're also planning to do a starter set with the ships from the original 70s TV show, and you'll be able to have the modern ships and the 70s ships fight each other. I can't wait for that. Okay. Anything else we should address about this game? We've talked about how amazing the production is, how awesome the rules are.
It's got all of the fun of Sales of Glory takes about half the time,
but it's got a different feeling. It's much more maneuverable.
Yeah, much more maneuverable. That's what I'm saying. It's a faster game, but I think you get the satisfaction of the planning and the movement that Sales of Glory gives you. It actually moves faster than Armada. And it's like you said, this is a really well designed game. They took the best parts of Sales of Glory and then added more maneuverability.
Now, they did put dice back into it, so there is some randomness there, but there are some ways to mitigate that by maneuvering at the right speeds, to make sure you don't get negatives to your dice rolls, and special characters a lot of times get pluses to dice rolls, and then there's abilities to give you pluses or minuses to your opponent's dice rolls.
Range still matters, all that kind of stuff.
So there's a lot of that, and that's all really good. I actually really like the dice rolls being back in it. I think the dice rolls are good. Yep. My only gripe, I have one gripe, I'm just going to throw it in here at the end, is they still did not include for this game points for the different ships and point costs for the different abilities.
Which they'll address probably in like a year and a half.
Yeah, they'll put those up online, I'm sure, at some point. But I really wish they would do that similar to how Fantasy Flight does that with their Star Wars games, where everything has a point cost and it's much easier to fleet build. I really wish there was a better way to fleet build with this, because you just sort of got to go, okay, this ship equals that ship. And,
especially since they've started now adding on
extra
ships, so you can build why would you add extra ships if you're not going to fleet build?
Yeah, so I really wish, that's my only gripe, is that they resist putting on point values, and they don't ever come in the box. So later they made point values for Sales of Glory and they had them up online. I have to look, they might have point values already for this, but I really wish they would come in the box. That's my only gripe. Everything else I have to say about this game is amazing. The models are amazing, the components are amazing. I love the clicky bases. Being able to turn while you're flying is an amazing mechanic. I love the mechanics of this. They've really learned a lot from designing games like this over the years, and now I think this one is just phenomenal. Really love it. Do you want to rate it first, or shall I?
You go ahead, because I know where it's at. I know where I'm at.
Okay, so I'm going to give it a 9.5. I came damn close to a perfect 10 on this, and the only thing keeping me back half a point is that lack of point values for fleet building. Other than that, this game is absolutely amazing. I love this game. I would play it any day of the week. And it's going to be really high the next time I do my top 100 games of all time list. It's a 9.5. I love this game. It is so good.
Yeah, I'm going to put it, I think I gave Sales of Glory a 9. And I'm going to give this a 9. I can't make it better than Sales of Glory, because I just love Sales of Glory so much. But it's as good. And
right on. I put it higher than Sales of Glory. I said a little bit higher.
You know what? And if I've played it, I don't know how many times I've played Sales of Glory.
A lot.
If I played this half as many times as that, it might actually beat it. But for right now, it is 9, solid 9, right out the gate.
Well, that is a hell of a two thumbs way
Yeah.
up review here.
Big time.
That is 18.5 stars between the two of us.
Right.
For Battlestar Galactica Starship Battles, I think we can thoroughly say we recommend this game here on the Board Game Captain. This game is fantastic. If you like dogfighting games, so for instance, if you're into things like X-Wing, or when they had it, Star Trek Attack Wing, or other games like that, and you are at all a fan of either of the shows of Battlestar Galactica, or even if you're not, because you never watched the shows and you really like this a lot, check out this game. The mechanics are fantastic on its own. This is this might be my #1 official IP game I've ever played. Wow. It's so good. And I mean, that's the thing, is I love how far official IP games have come now.
Yeah, it's not just slapping a logo on a... No, it's making it part of it.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you enjoyed this review and tutorial and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And hit that little bell icon on my channel so you get updates and alerts every time I upload a new video. And until next time, game on.